clap here. Give me a sec because I still have to kind of fuck around my audio settings. Uh, I think that's on. Ba-ba-da. Adjust microphone level. Yeah, it's super high right now. Okay, maybe let's do a little bit higher just in case. Okay. That should be at a good microphone level, at least one that I like. I hate this fucking menu music. Oh my. I mean, I don't hate this because this dumb surfer, dude, King Cruel, like, get the fuck out of here. That's rad as fuck. Um, but it blasting in my ear right now. I wonder if I bring it all the way down, will that affect you guys? Well, it doesn't affect me as much right now, so I brought it like way the fuck down. Um, I realized that I kind of suckered my way out of a good like full session of 2K last night because I was fucking plastered. So I'm gonna go ahead and redo that right now, being one game with my boys, the Heat, from this year. Probably playing. I don't want them to play against the Warriors, but all right. Well, first of all, let's have them do away in the city jerseys, and let's have them play. Okay, the Washington Wizards, cool. And let's give them like that's a good Wizards jersey. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. Why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? I'm already anticipating I'm gonna hate the fuck out of this. I'm gonna really not enjoy this. Just because I'm gonna keep the difficulty really fucking high. And let's just be real here. This fucking team, man. This fucking team. I guess we can keep D Wade for as long as we can, right? On the team. Let's put Winslow at point just because. And then, yeah, let's get D Wade and then Richardson. And let's have Dragic be sixth. Yeah, that's a good lineup. That's a good lineup. Uh, I don't know because it's no fucking secret. This team is fucking ass. Like in whatever way you want to put it, the Miami fucking Heat of the last couple of years have just been so disappointing for like the fans of like. Look, I'm not saying I hate on them, all right? I love the team and I'll always appreciate what they're doing, right? Pretty much it's always been like a compete situation, right? But the last couple of seasons, specifically 2018 and now, which is 2019, it's like, dude, are we even trying to make the eighth seed in the playoffs? You know what I mean? Are we even trying to beat 60% of the teams in the NBA? Like, what? Who are we trying to play against right now? Because we're definitely playing under. In fact, this last season, I think we were very surely under the 500 percentage of you know the game itself. So I don't know what you want me to tell you. We're underperforming like crazy. It shouldn't be like that. Uh, and that's why when you saw my my league game, I like switched everything up because, dude, like how the fuck am I supposed to keep this team together when it's this bad? You know what I mean? It's so fucking bad. I'll give you a quick tip and a quick hint. Um, there are some real trade assets the Heat have without having to give away picks. Um, Shocker, it's Winslow and Richardson. Look at that. And fuck it. I mean, play with what 2K gives you. If 2K in the game they just hand you D Wade, trade him. I love that guy. He's probably, if not my favorite player of all time, one of my favorite players of all time. Definitely one of the reasons I even got into basketball as a sport. But I'm sorry, like I'm trying to play a fucking GM here. I can't have loyalties, okay? I can be the GM, the my league manager for the Heat much as the Celtics, as much as the Grizzlies, as much as the Kings, you know? So if I got D Wade on my team and he's like fucking 40 years old, what the fuck am I gonna do with that guy? You know? I know even 2K gives him like an 81 in his like prime old age, but dude, I can get there's value in that. All right, and as is the classic Nick saying, trade him for someone younger, which is an awful thing to say and think about, but we have to be real here. That was awful. Let me take a sippy sip of the awful, like, death elixir I have in this cup. Boy, did I hit that one right on the head. Death elixir is right. Fuck, it's like something out of Star Wars, I imagine. You know, Star Wars drinks, like beverages or vices or all that kind of cool shit like death sticks and all like the different, you know, like all those like cool kind of, I guess faux alcoholic beverages they have in like the cantinas and like Coruscant and all those like underground evil guy bars. They look appetizing, much like, oh my god, come on. Much like I'm sure the bugs in fucking The Lion King looked appetizing, but I bet they were actually disgusting because the whole message that they're trying to convey in those scenes are like these are like vile evil people and you're going to like a vile evil disgusting kind of place, and it's a little bit Chaucer-esque for them to kind of be like, oh, you know, the bad guys are just doing bad things, and that's what, you know, that lends itself to the bad guy aesthetic or the bad aesthetic, which I'm totally with. Come on, how the fuck is he locking? The fuck is Winsley doing? All right. There we go. That's a 3, right? Thank you. But yeah, I bet even though it looks kind of cool, it's fucking disgusting. You know what I mean? Even for like the aliens tolerance level. Like look at Mass Effect, for example, right? Whenever they have like cool aliens hanging out in bars, they make total light of the fact that everything is fucking cool looking. They're like, oh, come on. They're like, no, this blue drink that only like the Asari and the Turians can drink. No, it's really fucking rad. But if you're a human, it would destroy your organs. But if you're Turian, it's really fucking rad, dude. I like to throw a lot of screens, definitely on the right side. I don't know, does that make me a hack? I'm playing in fucking the hardest difficulty, alright? You can't... Look at that. Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh, come on. Of course it's Bobby fucking Portis. Come on. There we go. I'm just trying to bait fouls right now. There we go. We got Dragic and Whiteside coming in. And I definitely want... Oh, wait. I forgot. That was my possession. There we go. Yeah, especially when you got Whiteside coming off the bench, there's nobody that can fucking touch him. There's no bench center that can do anything to Whiteside. Which is kind of like a really good reason to keep him on the bench. I mean, dude, like he's not seriously contributing to the team in... Yeah, if you want the Clappy's trade tips for 2K19 fixing the Heat, I would say step 1, trade Whiteside. That is number 1. Because me personally, I fucking hate this guy, and he's a big baby. He's a gigantic baby, and we don't need this motherfucking loser on our team, alright? That's like real life-wise, too. We don't need this guy. In the game, I'm sure there's a lot of redeeming qualities in like his game persona, but I just don't like him, and I'm sure you can get 10 things better out of him. I mean, there have been situations where I could get Jonas Valanciunas, which he's like the same age. I think they're both like 27. There's situations when you can get Steven Adams, who he's an 84 overall, and he's way, way younger. You know what I mean? You can get I was in a crazy scenario. I think I had to give up a pick, but I was in a crazy scenario where they gave me Rudy Gobert, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Of course, Rudy Gobert." And that was with years on his contract too. They gave me like, I gave him like Whiteside with an expiring, and they gave me Rudy Gobert with like 3 fucking years. So I probably had like a really good pick, but I think I like baited the AI into a top 10 protected, even though I know I was tanking that season. So I basically I was like, okay, top 10 protected and Whiteside, I'll give you Rudy Gobert, and you're basically just betting on, you know, me making it to lottery in the season, which I was tanking super hard. So I was like, I'm getting a top 3 pick. I'm not going fucking like 5 to 10. So I won that one really fucking hard, and they handed me Rudy Gobert on a silver fucking platter. But then again, this game's fucking like trade AI. I have a huge amount of fun playing the fucking My League just because for me, like almost 60% of the whole game itself is like, oh man, look at all this cool like trade shit I can do in the game. You know what I mean? That's fun to me. But it's so impossibly like arrogant. Like you have to be stupid to think that all these trades would just go through lickety split the way that you want them to, the way they do in my league. Like they don't. Like people definitely want more, and they want like protections on stuff, and they want swaps. And in real life, people will give you fucking second rounders when you make like deals for, you get like a 3-team trade for fucking first round unprotected, like that year, you know. But in real life, everyone is, well, they know they'll lose their job if they give you an unprotected first round, like. So, just a little bit of me bitching about me bitching. Come on. There we go. Bottoms up, baby. Whew. I love this shit, but it's 100 proof bourbon. I mean, I really gotta. Want to talk about some King Cruel? Here's a King Cruel pro reference, fellow memers. Uh, I gotta take this whiskey easy, easy. That was maybe the lamest thing I've ever said. Oh, you could have got the end one. Easy, easy. Same old sorry, same old beat. That's not even a bad impression. That's kind of similar to what he sounds like. Oh, easy, so easy, so easy, easy, easy. I'm kind of blanking on the lyrics, but King Cruel just kind of harmonizes a beautiful sound with like nonsense. Maybe that's a little bit kind of on the nose, almost racy, because I mean he's from the UK, That's just the way he sounds from where he's from, So that's more of a product of just his nationality than of like his speech pattern. Because just because I can't understand him doesn't mean that he's like this fucking incoherent mess. Like most people that probably listen to music are like, no, that he talks just like someone that I would hang out with talks. I understand every single word that he's saying, and it's perfectly clear. But to me, this dumb, uncultured swine, it's like, oh, this is a great team to match me up with, by the way. They went super easy on me. Sorry. Because really, I mean, you can't get much worse. Like, just put all the Southeast Division teams together, and, you'll get all the shitty ones in one bunch. Oh my god. That was not going in, was it? Oh boy. Let's get a little bit of Whiteside. Let's have you cut. Oh, come on! Yo, can you... Nobody's locking him. Oh, that's perfect. Oh my god. I have a nasty habit of hanging too long or too little, or not knowing the good timings on those shots. Fuck, there we go. Now back to square fucking one. Come on. Let's go Waiters, who is just a waste of human life. Let's can it into Whiteside. There we go. I know. Just, when in doubt, drop step, pass it to Whiteside. Which has been the Heat's go-to for the past couple of years. And see where that's got us. I'm just saying, I mean, let's have... How about this? Sorry, give me a second. I'm gonna talk while doing this. How about... Instead of starting a team and a roster and a culture and a fucking just the whole identity being Dragic and Whiteside and guys like Kelly Olynyk and Dion Waiters. How about instead of those guys, let's have a full team of just guys like Richardson and Winslow and you know what, guys like Derrick Jones Jr. and maybe even guys like Duncan Robinson. All right. Why not fucking young guys with a lot of intangibles and potential that can go lottery, that you can pick up from postseason moves, off-season moves. Guys like Tyler Johnson. Why don't we have a whole fucking team of Tyler Johnsons, Justice Winslows, and Jay Richardsons, and a couple of diamonds in the rough? You could make an argument that Jay Rich or Justice Winslow, either or, is a diamond in the rough. But I'm saying Bam, Jay Rich, TJ... Tyler Johnson, who's no longer on the team, is on the Phoenix Suns. I know that's crazy, but he had a crazy contract. So I mean, you know, what the fuck are we gonna do? That's our fault. We gave him a bad contract. But why can't we just have a team of Jay Rich, TJ, Justice Winslow, Bam Adebayo, and like hell, Derrick Jones Jr. Starting five. Why not do that instead of 100-year-old Bloodsport James Johnson? Love the guy, but what the fuck is he contributing right now? He's getting out-rebounded at every fucking available point. Whiteside's a big baby, and he doesn't come in clutch, and he's not effective. Dragic is, at this moment right now, hit with a lot of crazy injuries and has slowed his game down exponentially. Dion Waiters is out of his prime. The dude is fucking flushed. I mean, he's not rookie Waiters no more, all right? And Kelly Olynyk, I don't even want to talk about Kelly. I just think Kelly Olynyk is just so... Look, I lost any kind of like attention of affection for that guy after he like pulled Kevin Love's arm out of its socket. Like, how the fuck are you supposed to like a guy after that? You know what I mean? Like, hey Ponytail, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're on camera, you're on live TV, and Celtics fans are notorious for remembering everything. You don't think they're gonna remember that shit next time you're in the fucking Garden? You don't think they're gonna be like, it's the guy we had pull Kevin Love's arm out? Yeah, they know you're a dirty scumbag. I don't care how great of a stretch four you are, how okay of a stretch four, how serviceable of a stretch four you are. You pulled a dude's arm out of his socket, all right? You're Zaza Pachulia in a ponytail. That's what you are. And yet you are like arguably the most productive member of this team. Like, you are like the most Greg Popovich-esque player on our team. Just silently helpful, you know, comes in off the bench, helps the team, really goal-oriented, you know. You're in that sense, in a very important sense, you're one of the best players on our team. And yet you're this fucking scumbag. You know? Like, I would be with it if at least he could play it off, you know what I mean? If he could pull like a Dennis Rodman and he could be like, no, I'm the bad guy. I do the fucking dirty work and I rebound, you know what I mean? I play good defense. I slap, you know what I mean? Like, I am the guy this team needs. But there's a couple reasons why that can't work. And just philosophically can't be the Dennis Rodman. Just because he's just not that guy. You know what I mean? Just as a human, he's not that guy. Come on. Oh boy. Hey, well, he doesn't fuck up those shots. But obviously, you know, he's not a rebounder and he's not a defender, so, you know, he's trying to get everybody fouls right now. God. Is it just me or do I look, well, I know I look like a human sack of shit, but does it look like I have a crazy unibrow? Or is that just me? Might be the glasses. I don't know. Gotta fucking Groucho Marx this and have my fucking eyes like 2 meters into my forehead. How the fuck? He slapped it! Whatever. Oh, I want to take a thick sip after this. There we go. So yeah, before I jumped into this, I checked my the last video I put up, which I still haven't changed the name of. I'm gonna, believe me, when I get all these, like, you know, kind of figured out in order, I'm gonna start going in and, like, you know, diddling around with the tiny details of, like, what to put on the descriptions and what to name them and the tags and all that jazz. But I was like, all right, was the headset I was wearing, which was extremely uncomfortable, by the way, but it was easier to use than this thing, surprisingly. I was like, is it usable? Can I use the footage? Can I be heard? Is my audio actually coming through? And surprisingly, it was. I just had to do a little bit of tinkering with the levels, but it was fucking fine. You know, my whole bullshitting spiel was coming in loud and clear, so I had nothing to worry about there. It's getting warm, and when a full cup of 100 proof bourbon gets warm, you can't you know, trick yourself into flavor blasting with, because like everybody says ice just makes things 100 times better, and it does. If you want to be a good bartender at a college town, I don't know if this is a running gag, but it should be a running gag with bartenders. Hey, you want to be a great bartender in a college town, and you're not a chick with huge tits that is just eye candy. Add ice. Put fuck tons of ice on everything. You know, you fucked up a rum and coke. 2 gallons of ice in that bitch. Hey, can I get a double of a Jameson? Oh yeah, sure. On the rocks. Bam. They don't know what the double looks like. You could totally like here you go. You know, you fuck up a martini, you don't know if it's supposed to be double the gin or double the vermouth, or, you know, are you supposed to put the olive in before? Are you supposed to garnish it? Are you supposed to sweeten the glass? Even though you're not supposed to put ice in the martini, but if you're at a college bar, who the fuck cares? If somebody orders a martini at a college bar and you actually are like, oh yeah, sure, that's what you're getting. Even if it was somewhat serviceable, that's what you're getting, right? And they say, excuse me, can I have the ice taken out of this? And you're like, oh yeah, sure, sorry. And you know, obviously you're in a college bar, so your boss isn't right behind you, gives a fuck. You're just gonna take the whole drink and then pour it out, and then the customer's gonna look at you and go, okay. And then you're gonna take another thing and then just throw a bunch of ice in. You're gonna hand it back and they'll be like, thank you. And they're gonna like walk off and go scream at some chick, because, you know, they're obviously like, here's your fucking drink. But you're gonna do that and it's gonna be just fine, because nobody gives a fuck in those college bars. I wanted to hit him up for a mid-ranger, but now, why the fuck didn't that go in? Somebody tell me that shit. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah, that was a great foul. Yeah, I remember this was recently. I had a friend come over that I'm not too close with anymore, but back in the old days when we were youngins, we were super close. And this was like I think my first time actually just like drinking with him in like a pretty chill environment that we were both cool with. And we were having a couple drinks, and I invited him over, and I was hosting. And he was like, "Hey man, uh, you got anything to drink?" And I'm like, "I got all this stuff. I got this and this." And of course, I'm like adventurous. You know what I mean? Like I got the 100 proof bourbon, and I got some of these like really cool. That was back when I didn't really mind about my diet, but I had like this really cool like kind of like heavier beer that was like nice and milky and frothy, and it just had this great kind of flavor. And I had kind of these like mixers that I wanted to kind of like fool around with and stuff. Anyway, I had all this stuff, and I made him a little cocktail, and I'm like, here, try this, and I was downing it. I was having so much fun with it. I forgot what it was, but I think it involved the 100 proof bourbon. And he tasted it. He was like, "This is fucking awful, man. I'm sorry." And I want him to be honest. It's not like he said fucking awful, and I'm like, "Really? You're gonna say that?" But he was like, "Oh, dude, it's fucking awful." I'm like, "Oh, okay, okay." So I take it back. You know what I do? Here you go. And he's like, "This is great. What did you do?" And I'm like, "I just chucked a half gallon of ice into the fucking thing." He's like, "It's amazing." And that really was all that needed to be done. Chuck that bitch full of ice. Oh yeah, baby. So they got Jabari Parker and Bobby Portis. I remember at a point in time when that was like really, really desirable to have that. Oh, here you go. He's gonna go for it. Oh my God, James Johnson. I'm not giving you enough credit. Yeah, the better. Oh, he's got 11 points tonight. I'm going to D-Wade a lot. Okay, maybe Whiteside does have his uses. The playoffs. Like, this would be a playoff matchup. If they did like a Stern Cup kind of situation, or they did, with the Stern Cup is this idea that, I'll talk about that later, but if they did like, the only way, here's my bad joke. Ready for it, fellas and gals? The only way you could see at like semi-important to important playoff matchup with the Heat and the Wizards in their current state is if it's like an elimination to get the number one pick, and they take all the lottery teams and they all slap them together in a tourney. That would be the only way you'd be like, oh my God, these two teams are playing for actual stakes. This is exciting. Oh my God, broadcast this. Because there's no fucking way in hell they're putting that shit on playoff TV. That's how bad these fucking teams are. Oh my God, how the fuck did that shit go in? Whiteside is playing the brick wall. Or he's playing. That wasn't brick wall, that was more of an offense. But the Stern Cup was this kind of thing that. Well, let me start the whole Stern Cup idea. The Stern Cup is. Let me preface it, and then let me jump into my long-winded point. The Stern Cup. Oh, come on. There we go. The Stern Cup was this like half-baked idea that Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, kind of came up with in this sit-down talk at this huge sports analytics convention, SAC 19, this year, where he was talking to Bill Simmons. Love the guy. And after that interview, I fucking love Adam Silver. But they had this really like fucking super super interested, super thinky conversation about the NBA and like the real business side and the real like logistical side of the whole sport. Um, and he was kind of Adam Silver was toying with the idea of making All-Star, making the playoffs, making the game just more exciting, more interesting. Oh my God, what the fuck? I meant to pass that. Holy shit. There we go. But the Stern Cup was just like maybe idea that instead of like all-star or like the whole season kind of being grinded down to like this 82 game season with like no hope in sight, you kind of have something like the quote-unquote Stern Cup, which is there are other teams that aren't super great that are playing for actual stakes, you know what I mean, that are actually playing for a purpose. Like they suck, or they're not super good like the top 10 teams, but there's chance for them to do things exciting, you know. And they were making a lot of comparisons to like the Euro League of soccer, and like how they have different leagues and all that, and like every tourney those teams are always involved in are super important. And you had like the Stern Cup, which was maybe, all right, let's do like an elimination tourney where like all these top lottery teams, i.e. these bad teams, can duke it out for like the number one pick, or they could duke it out for like, you know, bragging rights, or I don't know, something. And I thought that was super interesting because I'm like, well, fuck yeah, that would be something great. But the NBA would never have it, you know, just because of how shifty and stupid. Olynyk's gonna get a okay. I was literally like, Olynyk's gonna get a fucking 3-second. There we go. Look at that. I got my guards doing the whole work for this team. But yeah, I mean, if you were watching the 2019 draft lottery, you would understand why that is important. You know, you would understand if you knew what was going to happen this draft lottery, why that would be important. Because the lottery is now systematically created to give all of the lottery teams a huge toss-up of a chance to get really good picks in the draft. And the reason why it's such a crazy toss-up and why that's so fucking insane is because they want to discourage tanking, which I think, I mean, before I had the idea that it's like, all right, tanking should just be a necessary evil. Tanking should just be there. If you're a bad team, you should get the next pick in the next draft or whatever. But then where tanking kind of becomes a problem is you're intentionally shooting your team in the foot when you have good players and you have a good coaching system or a staff, and like you have this serviceable stuff, but you're just choosing intentionally to not do it just because you want to bet on getting the number one pick and then just like running a team, you know, into a dynasty or whatever. And, you know, there's like small market, big market politics involved in that too that I'm not even going to like get into because, to be honest and quite frank, it doesn't really affect this conflict that much. And then you'll obviously have guys like Stephen A. Smith say some dumb shit like Stephen A. Smith is like the master of bringing shit that has nothing to do with anything else into what you guys are talking about. I.e., what the fuck is his name? Richard Heaney? Or, I don't know. The GM of the 76ers, when they like processed the fuck out of the NBA, which was kind of through tanking too. What? Oh my god, really? Come on. Oh my god. But fucking Stephen A. Smith was saying, like, I hate him as a commentator so fucking much. Like, I could be like kind of interested in watching his segments and stuff. I could be like, oh, that's kind of funny, like when he screams, "Stay off the weed," or like when he was making fun of Skip Bayless and he's like, "Skip Bayless, you do not wanna," you know. But I could stand for him being semi-entertaining and be like, oh, okay, that's kind of funny, that's kind of interesting. He's a comedian, he's not an actual analyst, you know what I mean? I could be totally with that. But when he says shit and he expects people to think he's serious, and he's like, I'm standing here on like a pedestal and like I'm preaching and I'm really, let me just say what got me really angry, what got me really aggravated, and the reason why I think that Stephen A. Smith, I don't think he's a devil, but I think he's a fucking dipshit that has a television program, and there's so many stupid people in this world that like listening to him that they have no idea that he's like, he's basically like sound pollution for everyone involved in sports. And the reason I give him such a scathing criticism is because, all right, you ready? The build-up is finally completed. Here's the reason why. He said when the GM of the 76ers committed to the whole process, which was tank for a couple of seasons and get yourself the best possible team so your city could finally have a great franchise again. it's a really heartfelt and kind of cool story, but it did kind of ruin tanking for everybody else in the end. Anyway, Stephen A. Smith didn't say what all the other NBA analysts were saying at the time, which was, this is promoting tanking. Tanking is bad. We need to fix this. David Stern, Adam Silver, do something about this. Fix tanking. Those are like smart, stupid talking head points that people who are talking heads will just go on and on and on about. No, he didn't say that. He didn't say, hey, why aren't we hopping on the Philly bandwagon? Because all the fans are hopping on the Philly bandwagon. Look at those fans. Those fans are great. You need to believe in those fans. He wasn't one of those talking heads guys. He wasn't even the talking heads fans that were fighting those talking heads guys and saying, are you a fan that promotes a team being bad? Fuck you if you're that fan. My name is my name is Tracy McGrady, and fuck you, Philadelphia. No, I don't think Tracy McGrady said that, but it wouldn't put it past me if Tracy McGrady and Paul Pierce were like, why don't you guys just win games? Like, fucking hate those. I know that wasn't funny. It was very unflattering. I know it was a stupid impression, but no. What Stephen A. Smith, in the brilliance of his like marketing, comedic, and philosophical mind, came together and said, this is what I'm going to do to make me not only unique, but to make me a silent genius in the world of NBA analysis. This is what I'm going to be not just a talking head, but the best talking head in all of the heads that talk. I'm going to say the reason the process is bad and the reason why Richard Heaney is a bad guy is because of racism. Black Lives Matter. And you're like, wait, well, hold on. You mean like kind of like how there's like similar problems going on in the NBA and like, you know, the players are heavily involved in the communities and I see how you made that link because like a bad culture kind of also incentivizes like players to kind of, you know, basketball enthusiasts to kind of like give up, and like giving up is fun. You're proud of being a loser. You don't want to incentivize the communities of historically black generational families to be disincentivized from the sport just because they're having fun with losing. No, you want them to be empowered. Nope, that's not what he said. He did not. Nope. He said Richard Heaney. He basically all but called the GM of the 76ers and the 76ers organizations like white power racists, because he said this is his thought process. I could come up with tons. I made that cool like empowerment point. I'll pull one right out of my ass right now, right? The reason why tanking and the whole trust the process, the reason why that's racist, and the reason why, here's a better point than what Stephen A. would have said. The reason why that's racist is because you have this institution, right? You have this institution of fucking all these powerful white guys owning all these powerful white teams, right? And all the black people in it, all the people of minority of all different colors and races and creeds, they're the players, man. They're not the organization. They're just the players. They're the working man. So when you're saying I'm tanking, you're making these players, these minorities, you're making these powered, you know, these regular humans that should be on an equal standing and everybody else, you're making them look like shit. Fuck you for making them look like shit. They're more than that. We should empower these players because they're national superstars. They can play in the one league that makes them better than any other league anywhere else in the world. These, whether they be minorities, whether they be regular Americans, whether they be people from across the sea, whatever color, race, and creed they're from, these people are important and they're amazing athletes. And the reason that you're tanking is because, and this would be the racist point that would make more sense, the reason why you're tanking is you want to disincentivize minorities from playing in the NBA. Take that, NBA. That would be a better point than what Stephen A. said. But what Stephen A. said was Richard Heaney, a white guy, which again, just white man, you evil. 76ers, it's got like a white background and like the basketball's got like blue stripes in it. It's got like a red 7 and like a red 6. White ball. Bad. Allen Iverson, he wore a white headband. White power. Stephen A. said Richard Heaney, a white guy, got to keep his job tanking for like 4 seasons and brought this team to this amazing success because of him being a white guy and keeping his job. He made like a message to the NBA saying, only a white guy could do this, haha, look at me, lay epic win memer, like he was Martin Shkreli or something, like, he fucked the system. Like, No, he didn't. No, it wasn't because he was fucking white. It's because he was a fucking statistical genius, you fucking retard. Alright? It was. You can't just. But no, you'll go. If you're watching this, go watch Stephen A. Smith. Just literally type in Stephen A. Smith racism, the process. That's all you gotta type in. He still genuinely, as a human being, believes that the reason the process is bad, like his main argument for against the process, for against the new form of tanking, like the neo-generational tanking, is racism. Like, that doesn't make any sense, dude. He's like, it's like, hey, look at this thing all the way over here, and this thing all the way over here, right? How are we going to fix the tanking problem, and how are we going to fix racism in America? Stephen A. They're the same thing. Tanking is racism, America. We've been lied to! No, Steve. No, you fucking dipshit. It's... If Masai Ujiri, the fucking the GM for the fucking Raptors, if he did something like that, and the organization, which obviously has his back, knew that he was doing something smart like that, they would keep him on staff, and they would definitely help him go through the whole thing. And if the process ended up working, because Masai Ujiri is probably a fucking genius just as well, you would give him credit for that, right? But because Stephen A's black and he's a dipshit, he can get to say all this fucking crazy shit that he wants. But if he was a white dipshit, like if he was like Skip Bayless and he said something stupid like that, you know who would listen to him? Nobody. And they'd probably fire him for saying something that crazy. If fucking Daryl Morey did something like the process, let's say Harden wants out and CP3 just can't stop getting injured, right? Let's say Daryl Morey, the GM of the Houston Rockets, did something like the process, right? If it worked out, they would fucking keep him because he's a fucking genius, right? And here's the one thing that makes it so stupid and so ironic and so hysterical on how you know Stephen A is a fucking dipshit and how Stephen A is a fucking like Neanderthal for thinking all this stupid shit that he was thinking. Not only was he wrong about the racism point, because there was no evidence that just because because Heaney was white meant that he got to keep his job, but on top of that, Heaney was fired. He was ejected from the organization. Even though the process worked out and helped out the whole team, he was still booted. So Stephen A, what the fuck is your point? It doesn't make any fucking sense. It's so stupid. I don't know, I only get one fucking rant in every like 6 months, and I guess this is my like Heaney rant for like the next generation, but for the next, I don't know, maybe 3 years. I'll go 3 years without another rant, but just now every single time I watch Stephen A, like he was doing this segment a couple weeks ago about D'Angelo Russell getting caught with like weed at an airport, or like he was caught high and he was at an airport and they were like asking him all these questions, and Stephen A went on television, he's like, get the camera on me, get the close-up, get the angle, stay off the weed, and everybody was like, ah ha ha ha, oh Stephen A, you're so funny, you are so bad at talking, no, I can't even watch that and not cringe, because I'm like, this is the same guy that legitimately thinks that racism is the problem for taking. Like, this is the guy that is ruining sports analytics and is ruining, like, basketball statistics because he's a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? And people love him. Like, I can't ever watch it because I'm like, if I even promote the people that are promoting giving him more money, then I'm like in some weird, like, fucked up Machiavellian, like, you know, a linear path indirectly giving him money. And I fucking hate Stephen A for that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'll forgive Skip Bayless for all the stupid shit that he said. You want to know why? Because Skip Bayless was just wrong. He was just wrong, and he just made mistakes. And he's like, oh, I picked LeBron wrong in all the finals. Oh, I picked Kevin Durant wrong. Oh, I picked Kawhi wrong and everything. Oh, I got the GOATs wrong. Oh, you know what I mean? So whatever, right? But he's never said some stupid, crazy racist shit on Skip and Shannon. He's never done that. And he's never tried to make, like, his show all about fighting fucking racism or bringing in, like, gender politics or bringing in, like divisive content onto his fucking show involving the real world and all these crazy forces just to push a narrative that he was, like, a trailblazer in this thought process. Alright? So, yeah, you can shit on every analyst as much as you want. I shit on Paul Pierce, and Paul Pierce is a fucking... I said dipshit way too many times. What can I call Paul Pierce? Paul Pierce is a nincompoop. He is a nincompoop. He is just a stupid man. He is a silly, stupid man. He is dumb. He is a dum-dum. He is a big, big dum-dum. Paul Pierce is a dumb man. Do you need evidence? He said he was better than Dwayne Wade. He is a big dum-dum. He in all the different alternate realities in which we could exist and this universe and this species exists, Dwayne Wade is still better than Paul Pierce in all of those realities. So you are still a big dum-dum, Paul Pierce. I could still watch a Paul Pierce program. I could still watch First Take and be like, oh, look, Paul Pierce is on there. Or I think is that the ESPN with Rachel Nichols, that First Take? I don't know. But I'll watch Paul Pierce and I'll be like, oh yeah, he's saying some crazy shit. All right, whatever. He's wrong, but he's entitled to his opinion. But if I see Stephen A. say something like crazy or out there or wrong, whatever, I'm gonna have this like feeling in my head like, oh man, he's gonna take this. He's gonna bring this motherfucking thing all the way around to try to make sense of something. And like Max Kellerman is gonna like sit there like, are we gonna cut? Did he just fucking, dude? Why the fuck? And like he's brought Max into racist shit too, and Max has to like cover his ass. Like, dude, I'm a journalist too. Don't fuck me, all right? This is my job. I got a program in a promo. You don't think the producers are like, stop talking about this shit. You're destroying ratings. You want to talk about tanking in the NBA? Stephen A. is the single responsible member. You want to talk about tanking the NBA? Stephen A. is single-handedly responsible for tanking the ratings of ESPN and, I don't know, TBS. What the fuck ever is he on? He should be on TBS, because he's a fucking comedian, how stupid he is. Fuck Stephen A. Smith. That's where this should all eventually go. By the way, what time is it? Okay, we're good for time. That took a lot out of me, fellows. I don't think we're going to bring back this 10-point deficit, but I'm going to try. Let me focus for like the next 2 minutes and all the fouls that I get or don't get. That I don't get. But let me kind of try hard this a little bit. Let me kind of go ham. This royalty-free music is just got me jamming, you know. Oh, I'm not really in frame, you know. I gotta be in frame, you know. Even if I'm not doing anything, I gotta not do anything ever. I gotta not do anything in view of the camera, because baby, that's my fucking money maker. Oh boy, that was I was trying to pass out. Yeah, I was trying to get Winslow in the game. There we go. I was gonna say that's going in. There we go. I like cuts and key in 3, so I like 7 seconds. Pace and space I like too, because you know pace and space allows for good rebounding. Scoozy. Yeah. There we go. Give him the fouls. I'm just gonna try for Hail Marys. You know what I mean? Fucking Anderson out here. Wow. Wow. Go for it. Play the game out. Yeah, GG. Ugh. Alright, let's go back to, like, the team that I built. And let's play that. Because, surprise, surprise, I actually want to do that. Alright. Let me see if I can do anything with the contract. Yeah, so these are kind of my setup. I got BG and Rudy Gobert and Tim Hardaway and Seth Curry and all these guys. Mitchell Robinson, who I picked up on a crazy good deal, is got 1 year with like 9 million. Oh god, never mind, crazy good deal. Well, I mean, he was expecting 9, or he was expecting 11, so I got from 9, so cheaper, and I got him for cheaper. I got him for more. I obviously got him for way more. I obviously, nah, he's about right there. But yeah, look at that, 7 seconds, baby. So wait, hold on. Who the fuck? Okay, Shy, Rudy, Timmy J, Zion, and Blake. Let me look at that box score. So this is what happened. You got 23, 19, 17, 15. E.g. Timmy J, Rudy, and Zion. Then rebounds, Rudy with a double-double, and 2 assists and steal, 4 blocks. Then you got Bam with 13 rebounds, and Blake with some. Then you got assists, Shy with 7-2-7, Timmy J with 19-7, ooh, going off, and then BG with 23. Look at that, we paid him the big bucks for that. And then a lot of people got 1 steal, and P-Bev with 1 steal. Look at that. But then the blocks really came to Rudy and Zion, and then turnovers, Timmy J and Zion, Blake, but they had a lot of possession, so. I don't think they have PRF here, so. Are we playing in cool uniforms? I don't think so. Let's jump in there and let's switch it. You know what I want to do. I want to get Zion at power forward. I want to put Blake at 6-man. I'll probably get either DeAndre Hunter or, what's his name? Jay Rich to be my small forward. Did everything just crash? Please tell me it didn't. Oh boy. We're in a fun place. Oh, sweet Jesus. I don't know if you guys saw that, if it even made its way to the screen, but my little butt puckered really hard. Because I was like, did everything just blow up? Let's put P-Bev a little higher. And Seth Curry, because I like Seth Curry and P-Bev. That's a great backcourt. Again, Seth Curry in this game is like severely undervalued. Because he's got like a bunch of great long range badges, you know what I mean? And like, look at him in real life. Like, he fits great with the Trailblazers. Like, I know he kind of bounced around the league, Seth, but any team that gets him is lucky because they got a reliable, young, athletic, great ball handling shooter. Now, maybe he's a B in some of those categories, and like the only A he's got is the outside shot. But still, in 2019, if the best quality of your player is he's a great outside shooter, that's an automatic signing. All right, like I don't know what the fuck else you want me to say. That's an amazing signing. So I'm pretty sure this is the hardest difficulty as well, which I'll take. All right, cool. Get that out of the way. We're going to play this one through, lads. We're going to play this one through. Oh, boy, AD. So there we go, making this game. And, of course, you have Rei Hachimura and... Is that fucking Drew Holiday? There we go. I'm not going to be able to do a lot here. Fuck. As far as offensively, because these guys are fucking defensive kings right now. I mean, maybe you can kind of fuck around with Boogie, but as far as that matchup is concerned, yeah, I'm fucked. Because Boogie's an amazing offense, and, you know, as good as Rudy is, I don't know if that's really lock material. Oh, boy. Same thing with the Timmy J situation. Like, Timmy J on the opposite end, because Timmy J can't really play defense, but he's great offense, but Drew can lock him down. Oh, boy. Don't look at me like that. You would have made that fucking pass, too. Why couldn't it have been, like, Justin or Aaron? Oh, my God. He's just... Like, I don't even want to touch him. Like, I'm scared to even touch him. There we go. Hey, so it's funny that we got a game with Zion and AD playing against each other. What about in real life when Zion and AD actually play with each other? You know what I mean? Because the Pelicans got the, in that amazing, crazy trick of fate, the Pelicans got the fucking first pick in the draft. Because well, it wasn't a trick of fate. It was the draft lottery being engineered to stop tanking and it working. And okay, well, it was lucky for the Pelicans specifically, but there we go. Look at that, nice rebound, my friend. High five. That wasn't a gay, you know, Heil. That was a little high five. Oh boy, I ruined that possession by doing a shitty Heil Hitler. Uh-oh. Well, that's like one of those Heil Hitlers that they do in show business to make people think they're not really doing Heil Hitlers. You know, so like the actor doesn't burn bridges with any of their Jewish connections. Which is everybody in Hollywood. There's, you know, look, just, if not to be a good human being, just to be like a good business person, be nice to Jewish people. Be nice to all people. How about that? As far as the good human being point goes, be nice to all people. But if you want a severely pessimistic and cynical take on the real world, if you want to make it anywhere, just be nice to Jewish people. Because a lot of people that are important and smart and very, very successful are Jewish. I don't know the causation and correlation there. I just know that they are. It's just a fact, and I don't understand it. Alright? Oh, boy. Oh, my God. How they fucking... Yeah, baby. Be nice to everybody. Except for gypsies. Come on. Come on. Oh, come on. He was totally on him. No, he doesn't. What? Yeah, he wasn't locking him. I'm gonna get Zion a lot of these plays. It's fine. At least we didn't foul him and give him an N1. Why does AD gotta be on him? Come on. I know I'm like really getting serious here because this is a team I care about and I actually want to win. So, you know, like I put in hard work to get the team that I got right now. These are my guys. Fuck yeah, Shy. I don't know. The Clippers. Let's talk about that for a second. The 2018, 2019, 2017, 2018, 2017 through 2019 Clippers are woke as fuck, man. I mean, I was kind of like a. I mean, I'm a true Heat fan in every sense of the word fan, but if I were to pick another team to kind of be psyched about, you know, when my team obviously never makes the playoffs and then it does anything important, it's got to be the Clippers. You know what I mean? I've always felt like the Clippers had a huge chip on their shoulder, and like I just love watching them play. Back when they had Lob City, back when they, you know, uh, well, I'll say like the big points have been like Lob City era throughout post Lob City era, which is trading for Blake Griffin, so everything past like last season. Um, because like everything that like Lou Will's been doing, you know what I mean, coming off the bench. I love Patrick Beverley. That's not a fucking secret. I think Shai is an amazing young player. Landry Shamet, I mean, slowly becoming the next fucking Klay Thompson, in my opinion. Um, who else you got on that team? You had Bobby and Toby on the Clippers, and that's just pretty much fan bait. Like, I mean, they just had the entire Reddit like comment section just like, you know, lol cute going bonkers for the whole fucking, you know, NBA season. They were just like, oh my god, Bobby and Toby, best friend goals. Oh my god. And yeah, I love, I personally I think that, and the reason why I kind of like am hesitant to talk about how interested I am in the Clippers is because I went off on the intern who runs the Clippers Instagram page because they traded Tobias Harris and I just needed someone to yell at, and I really went off on this poor kid, and yeah, it wasn't very nice, and you know, I guess in the long run it turned out to be a good thing because they weren't going to re-sign him, and you know what I mean, they, you know, as much he should have been a fucking all-star. Is just what I'm saying. I mean, and I love fucking Tobias Harris. I'm gonna get a Tobias Harris jersey and I'm gonna try to put it up, but and again, I don't know if that's gonna be. Well, I didn't say anything already, but I'm saying I don't know if that's gonna be a Philly Tobias Harris or a. I'm sure I can get a Clippers Tobias for dirt cheap. I mean, hell, he's been in. He was in the Magic, Pistons, the Clippers, and the Sixers, and I think he was like in the Bucks or like the Pacers or something. He was in like an East team, like his draft season. So. Mm. Oh boy. Fuck. I don't care how good your poker face is. Try a whole cup of bourbon. 100 proof. Without flinching. Okay, wait. Extra caveat. You have to be under 30. And you can't have like a beautiful storied life. Because beautiful storied life people are notorious for being amazing drinkers. I mean, goodness gracious. Like, if you had a storied life, man, you're like you can outdrink. You can outdrink a crew of fucking sailors. I mean, if you had an interesting, you know, storied life. You fuck, man. You could drink Edgar Allan Poe under the table, cause that fucking nerd didn't know what the hell he was doing. Oh boy, Drew Holiday. That's all I gotta say. Oh boy. Oh boy, DeMarcus Cousins. Sorry, I was listening to a lot of Drake this week, and I was having a lot of fun with listening to. Shout out to Drake. Shout out to what was that? I don't know if it was an album or like a mixtape. It was uh if you're reading this, I'm already gone. Something like that. If you're reading this, it's already too late. Something like that. Yeah, that like mixtape or album or whatever the fuck. Fantastic. Um, I have a buddy named Ben, and hopefully one of these days I'm gonna be able to get him either on here or like, no, definitely on here, like on the channel. Maybe not like a stream or whatever the fuck, but I'm gonna make it a point to get my good friend Ben, who is honestly like one of the all-time greats to me as a human. Um, oh yeah, 3 seconds. But I'm gonna try to get him on because he loves talking about basketball, and he's just like a great person to talk to. Like he's a cool guy, and he's really funny. Um, but most importantly, for the sake of this kind of tangent, he has an amazing sense of music. He's a great taste in at least what I personally think is good and what's bad. And it's a total subjective game, but as far as like things that we click on, like we are 100% locked in music. And he will get to the what's great about Ben is he'll get to the punch on shit that I haven't discovered yet. So he was on the Drake train way the fuck before I was on the Drake train. And again, a lot of people hate Drake and a lot of people think Drake is a poser or a loser or whatever the fuck. I fucking love a lot of the shit that he puts out. You can make whatever, assumption that you want about me based on that. That's fine. But he was on, if you're reading this, it's already too late. If you're reading this, it's too late. Way the fuck before I was. And I like literally like this fucking week just started getting super super hyped into that fucking that album. And he's been on that fucking wave for like ever. Like if I told him, "Hey man, I've really been jamming that album in my car." He'd be like, "Oh, for sure, man. Like, you know, that's my shit." And then if I tell him like I just got into it, he'll be like, "Dude, what the fuck?" Because like he's been telling me for like the longest time, like, man, that's like my contender for one of his best albums. And I've always been like, oh no, dude, like, fucking what was that one? Nothing Was the Same. I always thought that was Drake's best album. But he was like, nah, man, there's some contenders in there. There's some other ones that can give you a run for your money. And you know what? He's fucking right. He's fucking right. And I should never have doubted him. That's not a charge. Fuck you, Boogie. Oh my god, yeah, he's an awful free throw shooter. Oh, fuck. Oh, boy. Sorry, give me a second. By the way, I also need to, hold on, give me a second. I don't know if that's affecting my microphone. I need a sim. Because look, I can't be playing this game fucking ever. I mean, I gotta give myself like 2 minutes. Maybe a little more than 2 minutes. Alright. There we go. And then pitch it to BG, let him make a crazy good play. Oh, they got Tyson Chandler? Get the fuck out of here, baby. I'm eating. What? Fucking Tyson Chandler ain't stopping anybody. That's Solomon Hill, really? Solomon Hill is one of those definitely better in the video game players. Woo! He makes his free throws, at least in 2K. Let me just say, if I could like instantly jump into a reality where I was an NBA player or like an NBA prospect just going into the draft, and I was like, let's just say in a perfect world I was like 6'7", right? and I got to choose my own like weight class and my own like strength, and at least as far as that goes, my height and weight was pretty much predetermined. I would love to be a power forward and just pretty much try my fucking hardest to be like a carbon copy of Blake Griffin. Um, Another one of my favorite players of all fucking time. I mean, I know he's still in the league and he's got a lot more time to like prove himself and do a whole bunch of shit, but I mean, dude, Blake Griffin is always gonna be one of my favorite players of all time. I don't care if he never gets a ring. I fucking love Blake Griffin. You know what I mean? And you want to talk about me, maybe quasi being a Clippers fan, a Clips fan, fucking Blake Griffin. Like, I like Blake Griffin more than I like CP3. I like Blake Griffin more than I like DeAndre Jordan. I like Blake Griffin more than I like, probably more than I like Patrick Beverley. I mean, Patrick Beverley is like me, alter ego, if I grew up in a shitty environment and I had an amazing fucking work ethic and I like really, really cared about basketball. That's me if I was Patrick Beverley. You know what I mean? That was me. That would be me living vicariously in Patrick Beverley. But like Blake Griffin, you could only ever hope to be Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin is the fucking dunk master, man. Like, Blake Griffin, you can't. He's just something else, man. Like, he is something that imagination has to take you to in reality. You know what I mean? Just being that great of a fucking player, and me horribly ruining his legacy by ruining him in 2K. Oh my god. Somebody lock him, somebody lock him, somebody lock him. Oh, BG. Come on. Please. Bam. Alright, I gotta take it out because I'm taking a sip. What's that Elvis Costello song? Not like you guys are gonna tell me, but what's that Elvis Costello song that they have in the Simpsons movie? Uh, when Homer meets that boob lady in the Arctic. And it's like Marge and Homer's like canon song that they love. It's like, why do birds fall out of the sky every time? And it's just like me. They ought to be in love with you. Right? I don't know the name of that song, but I know it's an Elvis Costello tune. For the longest time, and I might bring this up many, many times through the course of my life, but that kind of like jingle in the chorus line, you, or the lead up to that, which is every time we go. Oh yeah, just like me, they ought to be in love with you. Just like me, they ought to be. Why does that so remind me of the key and basic melody of "Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination, and you'll find happy thoughts and elation." You know, the Pure Imagination theme song from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Is it just me, or am I going fucking crazy? Or why do birds fall out of the sky and come with me? Like, it hits the exact same first 3-4 notes. I don't know, I might be going fucking crazy, but like every single time I think of one of those songs, I think about the other just by immediate proxy. Fucking P-Bev. In this game, he's got no inside. He's like the best perimeter defender next to Andre Roberson, which is, I mean, that's the only thing that fucker's good at in this game. God bless Blake Griffin. Let's just watch that for a second. Let's watch this. Ugh. See, like, what's crazy about Blake Griffin is, like, he could do that kind of shit in real life, where he would get into, like, an almost post-up situation with another player on his dick in the paint, right? And he'll still go for the reverse. He'll still go for the behind the back, you know? He'll be like, fuck it, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm gonna dunk, I might as well make it classy. And classy it is. Oh, put him at the line, mon frere. Put him at the line. Oh, yeah. That's what happens when you got Solomon Hill on the court. Speaking of Solomon Hill, somebody lock him. Oh, yeah, P-Bev. Give him the stinky dinky. Oh, you're fucked, dude. You are fucked. There's... How is Patrick fucking Beverly? You're gonna get that. You fucking deserve that. Give him the slow-mo cam. I'm tempted to play Red Dead Redemption after this. Just because I just want to... Like, I don't even know if I'm going to be much entertaining after this. You know, based on the alcohol. But, and I mean, I don't want to pay myself in as an alcoholic, but this might just be the last drink I have this night. Yeah, I think the drink that I'm having right now is going to be the last one for tonight. Which is only like 5 drinks so far. So, you know, take as you want. Yeah, Red Dead can definitely get me in a chiller vibe because essentially all I'm going to be doing is like low-key robbing stagecoaches and wagons like you saw me do earlier today, slash fishing. Because, pro tip in Red Dead Redemption, if you want to get your honor up relatively fast, and you don't want to just go find new townspeople in Saint Denis or Blackwater every 5 seconds, and go find, like, a rotation of 3 new townspeople and go say hello to them, fishing. If you fish for super easy fish, and then you throw them back, you can, it'll give you honor. So, yeah. Just get the super easy bait fish, like or corn bait and bread bait fish, cheese bait fish, whatever, and just toss them. And maybe about 4 or 5 of them, maybe a little bit more, maybe like 5 or 6. Every 5 or 6, you'll go up a kind of like level, so to speak, in honor. Fuck you, Solomon Hill. Man, he's doing so awful. My last drink. I am nursing the fuck out of this. Speaking of nurse, oh, that's a good point. That's a good question. Everybody, what's your over/under on Nick Nurse as a coach for the Toronto Raptors? Because I was on Reddit earlier today, and yes, I did out myself as a frequenter of Reddit, and any stupid fucking loser that calls himself a Reddit frequenter is definitely a Reddit frequenter, which is, you know, it's just a really silly way to fucking produce yourself to people, you know? But, you know, that's who I am, so get with it. I mean, I don't want it to, like, define anything, but... Oh, sweet Jeebus. Timmy J, you're putting the work in, man. He's like a mid-range god in 2K. Like, you can't... There's nobody who's got a better mid-range shot than Tim Hardaway Jr. in 2K. Like, if he played in any other era... I hate when people bring up that point, but it's just so true in this case. If Tim Hardaway played in any other era previous, he would be like Larry Bird level, like revered by the NBA community, because he's essentially the modern day Larry Bird, like with a quicker release and better athleticism, a better work ethic, and a smarter player. I mean, I'm just saying, if you had Tim Hardaway Jr. playing in the 80s or the 90s, this motherfucker would be he would have a couple of championships, a couple of rings, and he would be like an all-NBA player. Tons of times, at least 10 times. At least 10 times. And I know that sounds crazy, me saying this about fucking Tim Hardaway Jr., but let's be real here, alright? The NBA that we have now is nothing like the NBA that has been years previous. And that's for very specific reasons. The offense has completely changed. The defense has completely changed. Rules on everything has completely changed. So it's like you have to pick and choose what works and what doesn't work in different eras. And a lot more times than not, guys who are great now are better than guys who were better then. At least if you did the whole switching around. You know what I'm saying? Like if you switched a guy from back then, like let's say you took a fucking a role player from back then and you put him on a team now, right? Do you think they would be great? No, you don't. If you took a role player that you got now and you put him back then, like Tim Hardaway Jr., they would be great. Because Tim Hardaway Jr. has an amazing mid-range shot, he's good athletically, and he's got a brain that he uses. Like, what the fuck was MJ if not an A+ in all of those categories? I mean, come on. A great mid-range shooter, right? A good head on his shoulder, and an amazing athlete. Oh boy. Thank you, Z. Give me a second. I gotta take a sippy sip. That was epic. Oh, I hope you stay the Smoothie King forever. Smoothie King Center forever. Had to get the fuck out of here. I was in the air for that long. Fuck. Hold on, let me sim through this. Don't worry, I could still do work with this. Alright, cool. That's my lineup. I might go to Marcus Cousins. It's a great switch. Okay. Fuck. Oh boy. Oh, sweet Jesus, thank you. Come on. Lock Hale, please. Oh, he did lock Hale. Why was that not a foul? Yeah, fuck the officials. Thank you for that rebound, Rudy. I bet he's got tons of rebounds right now. I think this royalty-free, chill music that I'm playing right now, at least, you know, artistically took a lot of inspiration from the Pirates of the Caribbean soundtrack. That's how much of a music freak I am. I'll like remember like movie soundtracks, like well-known movie soundtracks, and I'll be like, oh, that's what that's from. Like I'll give you an example, and this is also Pirates of the Caribbean as an example, which is really interesting. I bring that up a lot, but yeah, bum ba bum ba ba bum ba ba bum. Bum 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 bum. I don't know. I'm terribly off key, but you know what I'm saying. Does this not sound like this? Just saying. I mean, to like to like steal a song, if you ever watch late night TV, watch what the band is doing all the fucking time, like those cool jazz bands that they have, because those guys are actually musical geniuses. Um, like Jean Baptiste and Stay Human, the band for the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, they are like the final generation so far in a long line of bands that have just memorized everything and every little ditty and every little like riff and every little track, and they know how to fuck it just so they can get out of copyright hitting, just so they can get out of like getting in trouble with the studio. So they'll play like when a guest comes on that's from like Seinfeld or whatever the fuck, they'll play the Seinfeld bass riff, but they'll play it slightly out of key on different parts so they don't get hit with copyright. Or like if someone from the Pirates of the Caribbean comes on, they'll play the Pirates of the Caribbean theme, but just like this, they'll basically play this because it's Pirates of the Caribbean, but in a way that doesn't get you in trouble for playing it because it's not exactly the same. It is, I don't know. The music geeks will understand. You know, if you're out there, fellow music geeks, you have me. I'm here for you. Oh my god, goodness. I'm okay with that, Fel. But I forget what it was, but I was playing Ghost Recon with a couple friends of mine, and I heard like a really interesting, like kind of like deep, sad, kind of melodic track that brought out all these like super melancholy, somber emotions, and I don't know why, but like immediately the first thing I was thinking was, oh, this is the theme song. This is that like spooky like cradle little what is it called? Like little music box. There's a little in Pirates of the Caribbean 2. Again, this is like totally off topic, but in Pirates of the Caribbean 2, um, Davy Jones, the captain of the Flying Dutchman, I think is what his ship was, whatever the fuck. That tentacle squid man. He had this little like music box, which was beautifully symbolic of his like emotions of like his past life and all these things that he was trying to like keep away from who he is now, and this thing that like kept him completely divulgent from the Davy Jones of today and the Davy Jones of yesteryear. Anyway, the tune that was played on that music box was so ethereally, romantically somber and deep and sad and whatever the fuck that it perfectly mirrored what I was listening to. And like immediately when I was listening to that song playing Ghost War, I'm like, you know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of that. Do you guys know the Davy Jones theme song in that little like toy box that he had? And my friends are like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? And like, remember, remind you, I have not seen or listened to Pirates of the Caribbean or the Pirates of the Caribbean soundtrack for like 7, 8 years. I don't think I even watched any of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies more than twice. I don't think I've ever watched them more than twice. And I was like, that's from Pirates of the Caribbean too. Like that's how. And I think one of the reasons why like it's and it's not like is because, well, I'll tell you this for anybody who gives a shit. Who wrote the Pirates of the Caribbean soundtrack? That's all I gotta say. If you don't know the answer, Google it. Just Google who wrote the soundtrack for Pirates of the Caribbean. Who composed it. And you'll know why I'm so hyped about that. and you know why it's so recognizable, why it's so important. I gotta play with a lot of screens. Oh my god. Did you just poster boogie? Let's watch this. Fucking boogie. Oh, Drew Holiday. Sorry, I'm drinking. Alright, I made that stupid nursing joke earlier. Do y'all think that Nick Nurse is a better coach of the Raptors? Or Dwayne Casey? And if you're like me, and you have a brain, and you think that question is very stupid and insulting, good! Because that question is very stupid and insulting. Because Dwayne Casey won Coach of the Year, and Dwayne Casey is a prolific, amazing coach that didn't have any great players to play with. Nick Nurse was that dude's assistant who took a huge pay cut and stuck with the Raptors and got fucking Kawhi Leonard. All I'm saying is if Dwayne Casey had Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green and you know, all the fucking shit that the Raptors got this year, Marc Gasol, you know. If he got all the shit that Nick Nurse got, not only would they be going to the finals, but they'd definitely be winning the finals. Just saying. There's my hot take. Next to Timmy J would be a fucking Hall of Famer if he was in a different era. So there you go. Now you hear me. Now on top of all the crazy cool shit I was saying, the truth speaking, I was saying some really crazy shit. So, you know, oh my goodness. Oh, Christoph Waltz. Or wait, no, that's Joy, isn't it? Sorry, I'm watching this, or I was looking at this Instagram page that got me super distracted. Cousins brought back it with the dunk. And we got him with the dunk. See, now we're like coasting outside of 10 points, which I'm not cool with. So I'm going to put Blake Griffin on everything. And they're just going to play Cousins through everything. Man, I wish he was injured right now. Come on. I know, I know. There we go. Oh. Give me a second, I'm sorry. That was unnecessarily rancid. Ah, fuck. What? Fuck yeah, I was about to say he's gonna get on fire for that one. There we go. P-Bev has a 3-point shot, which is great. Comes in super handy. He's not going to be able to keep Drew locked. But I'm okay with Drew getting an and one compared to fucking... Yeah, look, that's just 2 points. I'm okay with that. With just 2 points from Drew than, like, you know, fucking BG, or not BG, DeMarcus Cousins doing something crazy. What? He had no pressure on him the whole fucking time. Alright, let's see how this goes. Alright, cool. I burned through that. I got a little bit closer to them. Well, they got Bobby. They didn't get Toby. Somebody on Reddit was like, and this isn't an original thought at all, but somebody was like, there should be a fucking like trade clause in the contract of Boban Marjanovic and Tobias Harris, which states that neither of them can get traded to separate teams, that they should always be on the same team. Why did I pass it out to the big man there? Or to Zion, or what the fuck? Why did I do that? Okay, don't worry, I still got 11 minutes. 12 minutes. Yeah, Bobby ain't doing nothing. I'm just gonna roam the paint. And what's great about Rudy is he's also got, at least in 2K, an outside effective... Oh, come on. A perimeter defense. Which, I mean, I know he won Defensive Player of the Year and all that, and he's a, you know, great All-NBA defender, but is he really that good in outside defense? I mean, come on, let's be real here. Is he really that good of a perimeter defender? Is he fucking caking in steals and all that jazz? I mean, yeah, he's like the ultimate paint protector, and I mean, I think he should definitely get Defensive Player of the Year DPOY this year because of just the amount of blocks and the amount of like defensive pressure he puts in the paint. But is he a great outside defender? Like realistically speaking, no, he isn't. Oh boy. Thanks, Shy. I knew if I pushed him into the paint more, he'd get it. Because George Hill is not a paint defender, and Shy has a pretty good inside game. Ah, sweet. Ah, fuck. Who is that? Roy Hachimura? I'm excited to see how he does in the NBA. Because, you know, as far as, like, the simulations that 2K gives me, he's everywhere from, like, great to really, 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 really bad. So, I'm hoping he's great. Because he had a great season at Gonzaga. And, I had him pegged in a couple of my brackets for going all the way. Come on, AD. There we go. Now we're just 5 down, and we got a hot shot. We got someone in their Fuego, in their Diablo. Oh, come on. Yeah, well, Timmy J wasn't going to defend that. So, there we go. Yeah, he's going to make that. There we go. Fuck. Let's go. Let's just make it a dunk battle. We just got to stop cutters, that's all. Why did he jump for that? Well, he was going to get it anyway, so. Get the out of bounds call. Sorry, pouring myself a little sippy sip over here. Apologies if I'm taking this too seriously, but I want to take this seriously. Oh boy. Come on, god damn it. Notice how I'm going for really, really safe twos. It may not be super efficient, but it's very, you know, it's low risk. Good. Good. A good. I love this right side, by the way, whenever I hit those screens. What? Oh, okay, I guess Bobby could do that. It's only 9, it's only 9. The fuck out of here. That shit like that makes me just want to quit the game. Oh boy. Oh fuck, why is he... Wait, what? I was trying to give it to fucking Rudy! I know, I'm gonna take the foul. I just want the ball back. Yeah, let's get our bench out on here. I don't mind as long as our starters are healthy. I know the fucking the CPU doesn't give a fuck about healthy starters, but like they'll play the whole team the whole game, like. But me, I care. There we go. Sorry, just give me a sec. Oh, come on. I hate that Jay Rich is such an awful passer in this game. How the fuck did he make that? Alright, BG, go off. Come on, Blake. We need you to go off. We need you, Blake. We need you to go off. Sorry, I just need to kind of get my situation figured out. I want to do this. Why the fuck is Blake Griffin at small forward, not power? Why the fuck is DeAndre Hunter at power? Yeah, he's gonna get that and one. I know. I know, they're basically 10 points up. Can we get Blake Griffin involved, please? Why the fuck wasn't Blake Griffin in any of those plays? Why the fuck was he all the way across? Starters. I'm pretty sure the automatic starters are Blake and Zion, so it doesn't even matter. Oh my god. There we go. No, it's not Blake and Zion, it's just Zion. How the fuck? There we go. I don't think we're gonna win this. Why the fuck? Oh my god. This is insane. What the fuck? Dude, if I wasn't playing at this difficulty, I would rape the game right now. Alright, watch this. Watch this. I'll bring it down one level. I'll win the game. Don't call it cheating either, because I've been playing at Superstar, alright? Most of you motherfuckers can't even play at Superstar, so don't give me that shit. Who is it? Anthony Davis? Boogie? Oh, Drew Holiday. Wow, okay. I didn't expect that. I mean, he was making some shots here and there, but that's just because his cover was bad. god. Nice. Okay, nobody's really that tired. Cool. I don't know if he's gonna make this free throw. Oh my god, he did. See, we're like 11 points down. We could try. Gotta stay focused. I'm sorry I can't talk. I apologize deeply, but I can't talk right now. Fucking hey, come on. Oh my god, fucking DeMarcus Cousins. I'm like slamming the fucking... Wait, whoa, whoa, whoa! I meant to pass to Richardson! Why did he shoot that? Oh my god. I don't even want to put the three-point shooters out there. I want to keep my guys in. Oh, sweet Jesus, we're losing this game. I meant to pass it to him too. What the fuck? I don't think I'm gonna make this, motherfucker. But their guys gotta be so tired right now, like... Fuck. Oh my god. Oh my god, Shy, what the fuck? Yeah, we're losing for sure. I don't give a fuck. We don't got any fouls out here. Let's try three-pointers. I don't give a fuck anymore. Let's get the whole team with three-pointers out here. Oh my god, Blake Griffin. See, I'm getting really nervous because I really want Blake Griffin to not be a three-point shooter. Can somebody get open for a three-pointer? Not him. Oh my god, we're so gonna... Alright, they won. So what? They won. Oh my god. I shouldn't have simmed. That's all I'm gonna say. That's my big mistake. I shouldn't have simmed. Well, there you go. You watch me just be bad at 2K. There you go. Ugh. And on that note, let me get the fuck out of this thing. I might be back.